Mem Gimel Amid Beis. That's 43b by Masiv Rava. It's right in the middle of the page. It's a small page, but right in the middle towards the end of the line. Masiv Rava. Rava asked the question. Okay. We thank Hashem that we're able to learn every day. Most of our learning should have listen English immediately. Okay, so Masiv Rava has a question. We're discussing here the opinion of Rabbi Yossi. It says that if the person is on a trip, and he took a vow not to give any benefit to his friend, and he wants to feed his friend, but there's no one that he can give the food to on behalf of the friend. You acquire it, and then the other person would feed. He can't do that because there's no one else there. So the Tanakama held that you can just put it on a rock and say that it's hefker. And Rabbi Yossi said that you can't do that. So Rabbi Yochanan said, why can't you do that? Because hefker works like a gift. Like as if it passes from the person that's giving it to the recipient. And it doesn't work just like that there's an entity of hefker independent as if it went to a third party. Hefker is not a third party. That's the way Rabbi Yochanan explained Rabbi Yossi's view. Okay, so we had one discussion before this regarding if someone took a vow. Rabbi Yossi says that if the hefker took place before the vow, as if the person made it hefker, and then he takes a vow not to give his friend any benefit. So then we say that it actually is hefker, and the person can take from that hefker, even though he was the one that made it hefker. But we don't consider it that it's coming from him. So if the explanation for Rabbi Yossi's view is according to Rabbi Yochanan, that it's coming from the giver to the recipient directly, even though there's hefker in the middle, but hefker is really nothing. It's coming. So then why does it help that the vow was taken after the hefker? That the hefker was made first? Why does that help? It's coming from the giver to the recipient. And it wasn't, he's not supposed to have benefit. So we answered that when someone takes a vow, he's only vowing on what he has not made hefker. So it was sort of like a stipulation in the vow that he was saying that you're forbidden to have benefits from my possessions that would be excluding everything that he has made hefker, even though the truth is the hefker is really his anyway, but that's not what he meant when he took the vow. That was our answer. Well, that would make this hefker okay because in the vow, that wasn't part of the vow. It's more like a stipulation in the vow. Okay. Masiv Rava. Rava has a question. Yeah. Miktasim l'rishon v'kulam l'sheni. Rishon kana, sheni like kana. This is a interesting case. I'm not sure which way to learn this first. There's the way that the Rashi, commentary of Rashi, and the commentary of Tosfos learn this, Rabbeinu Tam. And then there's the way that Rabbeinu Hanana learns this, and the way the Ran learns this. Nothing to do with each other. They're different stories. And even the text is different. So let's go with the Ran. The Ran says like in Rabbeinu Hanana, he says like this. We're going to have to adjust the text a little bit, but talking about a person that has two slaves. He gives the first slave gives him some of his possessions. Not everything. Says you can keep, whatever. Second slave, he says, you can keep everything. Wow. Gives him everything. Included in that everything is also the first slave. Now, what we say is like this. Whatever the first slave acquired, he doesn't really acquire it because whatever a slave acquires belongs to the master. And since he didn't give him everything, that means he didn't give him himself. So he didn't make him free. He could have gifted him himself. He could go free, but he didn't do that. So the slave doesn't actually acquire acquire anything. But the second slave acquires everything, not only everything, but even the first slave as well. He acquires him as well. Oh, if
He would acquire.
and he's free. He's free. Now, if according to the way we just answered, when a person takes a vow, he doesn't have intention on the things that he's left out, which means the way we just said before, that if someone was mafkir, someone made something ownerless, and then he takes a vow to that this person cannot benefit from him. So we said in that vow, he was excluding what he did before, which was the hefker. He was excluding all of those items. So over here, why do we say that this slave acquires everything? Really, you shouldn't be acquiring everything. You should only be acquiring everything but what was already gifted to the other slave before. Now, the truth is, in halacha, that slave didn't acquire it. But so what? In halacha, before, the hefker wasn't really hefker until someone got it. But we're talking about what's in his mind. What's in his mind was that he was only gifting what was available. That's the way the Ran learns this.
My question is, if he hadn't taken the vow, why can't he just give the person the item instead of making it happen?
If he didn't take the vow.
Yeah, because we're talking about the example that he made it hefker and then he took the vow. But why would he have to make it hefker like before the vow? Can he just give it
So what we're talking about is that he didn't have this all planned out. He made it hefker because he's a character. He made his possessions hefker. Then he takes a vow because he's a character. He takes a vow. So the question is, does that? Yeah, it wasn't that it was. Yeah, when you plan it out, then you're going to ask that question. But it wasn't planned out. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes you see the kids with the candy, they say up for grabs, and I think they just want to see everyone rush, like see like the commotion. Okay. Yeah, coming in kids.
Sounds like the government one day mentioned this stimulus check.
Right.
Who wants stimulus?
Okay, the other commentary doesn't learn it like this. And actually, when you look at our text, look at how our text concludes. Rishon kana sheni like kana. It's exactly the opposite of the way the Ran just quoted this. The Ran's quoting a brisa that's a Tosefta in Baba Basra. He's saying, look at what I have. I have this Tosefta of this brisa, but it doesn't match with our text. The Rashi and the Tosfos, the Rabbeinu Tam, they learn this a little different. They're talking about that when a person is on his deathbed, it's called shchiv meira. I think meira means ill. He's laying ill, which means he's on his deathbed. And if he gives his possessions to, I'm giving you this, I'm giving you that, so if he gives everything away, if he recovers miraculously or whatever, he recovers, so then he takes back everything because he only gave it with the intention that he wasn't going to make it. But if he doesn't give everything, if he only gives some of his items, then that's actually a gift. If he leaves things for himself, then the gift that he gave, what he did give, is valid.
That's okay.
Yeah, but it's more than a nether. It's like it's as if we make it like as if it's a full gift. Okay, now
make it into 30 Kenyan just by saying.
Right. Now, the question that we're asking here is that if we're going to learn this is the way the other commentaries learn us, that if we're going to be learning according to Rabbi Yochanan's interpretation of Rabbi Yossi, that until the person receives it, they don't acquire it. So why can't he take it back? Yeah, I mean, the comparison is not perfect because that was Hefker, and now we're talking about a gift. Okay, whatever the case is, let's take a look at what the answer is. Elam Rava, rather Rava says, we mentioned this in passing before, but it's going to come up soon. A person took a vow that he's not going to give any benefit to his father. Then he makes a wedding for his son. He wants his father to come. So what he does is he gives all the wedding, everything from the wedding, the hall and the food and everything, to some other guy. And he says that way my father can come. And he actually spells it out. I want my father to come. So the guy says, the guy runs off with the wedding feast and says, "You gave it to me, right?" So that was a little bit problematic because he was so clear about what he was doing that I'm doing this. I'm giving it to you. The guy had to come back and say, you know, that I only gave it to you because of I wanted my father to come. It wasn't a real gift. So that's a concern. So what Rav is saying here, we're concerned that the person's going to spell it out why he's doing it. I'm making this hefker only for this person to take it. And that's not. We said that that's not going to be a real hefker. It's not going to be a real gift. So it's going to be too spelled out, and therefore the person is going to be getting benefit from him when he does it like that. So this is a gezerah. How does this explain the question that we had? We had a question before. If he takes the vow first and then he makes it hefker, then we have the problem, because we know why he's making it hefker was just to avoid whatever the vow, to get out of that the vow issue. But if he makes it hefker first and then he takes the vow, then the hefker was a real hefker, then there would be no problem. And that goes back and answers our question before, that we don't have to say that anyone that takes a vow, he's only intending for the things that he has. We can drop that. We have a better answer. Better answer is that it's an issue of it looks like he's actually gifting it to him. Okay.
It's the exact example of the other one. The other one is not planned out, and this one is.
Right, exactly. Okay. Tanya, we have a brisa.
You get it back?
Oh, by the Beis Chayren, there was a discussion over there that's on Memches. Yeah.
Does the guy have to pay double or anything?
No, the issue was that his father, it wouldn't help his father come to the wedding. That was the issue. It wasn't considered a real gift.
How does he get his father to the wedding? No, his vow.
I guess so.
What happened? No. Just the case.
They eloped.
Seems like annulment of a vow, or portions of a vow, sounds like an easy fix. But it seems that the Gemara is going out of its way to find ways to not take
without annulling it.
to uphold the vow by adjusting other common understandings.
Right.
Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah. The only way that you can do that would be because he took a vow, not an oath. Probably if he took the oath that he wasn't going to serve his father, that would be an oath against Torah. But if he takes a vow that all my possessions He said because it's on the objects. So then he's just like making his possessions hektish, which, you know, and that would work, we said. As if. Okay. Tanya, we have a brisa. Hamafkir sadeyu. Someone makes his field ownerless. Now, there is a benefit to making your field ownerless.
Taxes.
The taxes. And then he takes it back, but we're talking about Maisa. He can avoid the gifts that he has to give to the poor, because when you acquire something from Hefker, from ownerless, you don't have to give the gifts. So what he wants to do is he wants to make it ownerless and then take it back and avoid the gifts. Yeah. So Hamafkir Sadeyu, someone that makes his field ownerless, so Kol Shleishi Yamim Yachalach Sabay. We say that the first 3 days we don't count it as really hefker, because people do this. Someone's going to make it hefker and then quickly take it back. We don't even count it. Say it's not hefker, because we know that they're just trying to avoid the. Now let's say someone comes and takes it. Day 2, someone comes and takes it. So what we say is that we have to take it away from it. We give it back to the original owner. If we won't take it away from him, and we'll let but really it is hefker. It is hefker. But our concern is that there's Ramayim, there's people that lie about this, they're tricking the taxes, tricking the miser. And so we're concerned about this. So we say that it's considered nothing for 3 days. So if we would accept that someone else can come along and take it, if we would just say it's considered nothing if you take it back, then the person won't believe us that it's really nothing. Said, look, someone else can take it. Why can't I take it back? So obviously it's not nothing. So we have to say that it's actually nothing, even if someone else takes it. And we say we have to take it away from him. So kol shleishim yachalachsbei. Mikan ve'elach ein yachalachsbei. But after 3 days, then he can't retract. It's really hefker. Now, who would hold that something is really hefker and you can't retract? That means you can't retract. Means that if someone after 3 days takes it, it's theirs. And it would be exempt from Meister as well, even if he takes it back. We have a problem with Rabbi Yossi, because Rabbi Yossi. Okay, let's read further. We'll see. On top of Mem Daled.
On that declared that whatever was hefker was still owned.
Right. That was Rabbi Yochanan explaining Rabbi Yossi.
You know, you could solve this problem, couldn't you, by saying that you can take it, if someone takes it during those 3 days, it's theirs, but if no one takes it, you can take it back.
Right. That would be a solution. The only problem with that is that the people that are doing this won't believe you when they take it back within 3 days. So they say, look, someone else could take it. Why can't I take it? And then
the owner,
the original owner. If the original owner takes it back, so then he's say this is not right. If someone else could take it, I could take it. And then we'll be exempt from, he'll think he'll be exempt from ISA, right?
But if he could take it back, why can't the other person take it?
So we want it to be that it's not considered really ownerless. We take the concept of ownerless off. Yeah. Yeah.
What if he would just like, I don't know, leave his possession like somewhere and he wouldn't come back like he wants it. Like,
Right.
on the
So
bus
after
stop
3 days,
or
according,
train or something.
are you talking about it's not his field, just any possession? Yeah, if it would be other
Throws it.
possessions, it would probably be Hefker. Here we're talking about the field because the field has that other issue. Amar, if he says, Sadizum of Keres, Liyay Mechad, L'Shabbos Achas, L'Chodesh Echad, L'Shana Achas, L'Shvua Achas. You have a pencil? No, I'm correcting my comments. Now we say something totally different. Now we say that if someone makes something hefker for a select time period, it's hefker only for a week, it's hefker only for a month, it's hefker only for a year, it's hefker only for 7 years. So then, if no one takes it, he can retract. He can take it back. But if someone does take it, then he can't retract. Okay. The Gemara asks, Reisha Rabbanan v'Sefer Rabbi Yosi. In the Reisha means the first part of this, where we said 3 days it doesn't work, and after 3 days it does work. So that can only fit with the Rabbanan, because according to Rabbi Yosi, we said that it only goes to someone else until they take it. Rabbi Yosi, according to the way Rabbi Yochanan explained Rabbi Yosi. How are we saying this? We're saying that after 3 days, you can't retract. According to Rabbi Yosi, after 3, until someone takes it, he can always retract. Once they take it, then it's considered gifted. But before they take it, he can always retract. So if that's the case, then it's really always his, according to Rabbi Yosi. According to Rabbi Yosi, according to the way Rabbi Yochanan explains it, it's always his until someone takes it. Hefker is really nothing until it leaves his possession. According to Rabbi Yosi, you'll never really have a situation where it could be, where you can get out of the meiser by making it hefker. Because if someone else took it, then okay, they took it. Now we're going to have to say that when someone else takes it, that at that point it is considered that they took it from hefker. The other person will actually get out. But when he takes it back, now it gets very complicated. How do we say that he's taking it from hefker if there really was no hefker unless someone else takes it?
You could say it never left his
You
possession.
could say it never left his possession.
We made a vow also, so someone else can actually benefit. So how can someone acquire his possession in the first place?
Well, so no, 1 second. If he makes a vow not to give, Reuven makes a vow that Shimon cannot benefit from it, and then he makes it hefker.
Right.
So and Shimon takes it. So Rabbi Yosi holds that that's not valid. That's not acceptable.
Mhm.
But if Levi takes it, and Shimon takes it from Levi, that would be acceptable.
So there's
Because Levi can actually take it, and when Levi takes it, it's considered that he got it from hefker actually.
This goes back to the food on the rock.
Right.
Rabbi Yosi said that the hefker is not a separate.
Right. Exactly. Now the Ran actually asks this question that according to Rabbi Yosi, what does it mean he takes it back? What does it mean he takes it back? What does it mean he can take it from hefker? Yeah.
I know this sounds like it's coming from left field, but trying to apply it to nowadays. Naftali, you know this. There is a question in the use of guns,
Okay.
right? It's illegal to point a gun against somebody unless you perceive him as a threat in defense. Otherwise, pointing the gun is brandishing the gun, and that's illegal,
Second rule.
punishable by the law.
Second
All
rule.
right, listen to this, right? People have lights. You hear a noise at night. You point the flashlight with your left hand.
2 seconds.
All right, no, listen, because the question is, what would Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Yossi hold nowadays? Point with you identify him as a threat. You pull your gun, it's legal. You identify he's not a threat. If you pull your gun, it's illegal. Right? Many people have lights attached to their guns. The question has recently been raised: if you hear a noise at night and you see somebody, a shout, and you think it might be a threat, pointing the gun with the light is illegal because you don't know that he's a threat till he lights up. In other words, you see him, but you've already pointed the gun at him.
What's he doing in your
By a
house? In the middle of the
Right.
night?
If he's at house, it's what do you call it? It's what do you call it? The
Evasion
law of the way castle doctrine. But if he's outside, you've just committed a felony by pointing a gun at somebody you didn't identify as a threat. If you say with the light, and therefore there's a whole movement to remove lights from guns. So what would Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Yossi say? If you follow me, or if not, just move on.
Move on.
Move on.
No,
2 minutes.
It's interesting
No, it's
2 minutes,
not.
because you just said it's not until the
minutes and
guy
10
acquires it.
Make a fence higher. Build
It's
your
not
fence
in
higher.
your house. Then it's legal totally.
Pushing 2 minutes, 30 seconds. You will
All right, forget it. It's above your head. Don't carry guns.
Okay.
Don't attach a light to your gun. Neither does the rabbi. Who invited Siri?
She's always listening. She gave me the answer.
Did you orchestrate that?
That's a paraphrase.
That's the last time.
All right, forget.
Okay, so the question is that according to the second part of this brisa, it's only considered hefker once someone takes it, and according to the first, in other words, the person can always retract until someone takes it. In the first part of this brisa, after 3 days, it becomes hefker. So the first part sounds like the rabbi's view, with some sort of decree attached that that takes 3 days. And the second part of the brisa is Rabbi Yossi's view. The Gemara doesn't like that we should have one brisa that has half the view, half of it is one view, half of the other view, although it would fit perfectly. So the Gemara says, Amar Ula Seifa Nami Rabbanan. We can actually explain the Seifa that it's going to fit with the Rabbanan as well. So why do we have to wait for someone to take it? It goes like this. Why only once someone takes it can he retract? My answer is, What's coming out now is that I know that the Rabbanan hold that you can always retract, that you can never retract once it's hefker. And Rabbi Yossi holds that you can always retract until someone takes it. But when someone takes a vow with a stipulation, not a vow, makes it hefker with the stipulation that it's only hefker for a certain amount of time, then he's probably also limiting it that he wants to be able to get it back somehow. So in such a case, we would say that until someone takes it, he can actually take it back. So even the Rabbanan would agree when there's a time limit on the hefker that he can actually take that he can actually take it back until someone takes it. The Rabbanan would agree to Rabbi Yossi. So what are we doing over here in the brisa? We're saying that it's not that the brisa, half of it is the Rabbanan, half is Rabbi Yossi. Half of it is the Rabbanan, the other half is the Rabbanan agreeing with Rabbi Yossi in that case. And that way we have, what we resolved is that if the whole brisa is one opinion, one individual, or one view, even though we're getting that other opinion here in this scenario. Okay. Where it's planned out. Right. He's not really giving it up. He's holding it he wants it. It's only hefker for a certain amount of time. That's what people do. That's what the kids do. They say up for grabs for 10 seconds. And then they keep moving it away. Okay, you missed your chance.
Indian giver.
Yeah, so how would this work? Something that has a time limit. If someone takes it, then it's too late during that time. And if no one takes it during that time, then he can take it back. And when he takes it back, it's going to be pater from Meiser.
But it would have never left.
No, then it never left his possession. Then it can't be his pater from Meiser.
He holds that hefker is not a separate entity.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. The Ran discusses this, but the problem is in the text it says, Mishazacha ba bein hu bein acher ein yachal lachzor bai. Whether the other individual, he can't retract. Now, what does it mean? He can't retract when he just took it. There's two ways of him taking it. The original owner. One is he acquires it from Hefker and he made it Hefker. The other one is he's retracting from the making it Hefker. So once he takes it, then he can't retract. No kidding. He just retracted. But we're making it look that no, he can actually take it. So yeah, this is the Ran. It's possible to say that even though Rabbi Yossi says that until someone else takes it, it doesn't leave his possession. But since someone else could take it, so he himself can also take it in a way that he's taking it from Hefker, because it depends on how he's taking it. What's the difference him? What's the difference someone else? Yeah, this is a very thin line. Okay, that's Ula's view, that the whole brayso would be the view of the Rabbanan, and the Rabbanan would agree to the opinion of Rabbi Yossi if there was a time limit on the Hefker. Rish Lakish Amar the opposite. Rish Lakish says, "Me the Sefer Rabbi Yossi, Reisha Nami Rabbi Yossi." Even the Reisha is Rabbi Yossi. The Reisha meant the first part of the brayso. The first part of the brayso said that he has 3 days. It's considered not Hefker. After 3 days, it automatically is, even if no one takes it. But Reisha Hainu Taima. What's the reason why we make it Hefker automatically after 3 days? No one took it yet. According to Rabbi Yossi, if no one takes it, then there's no such thing as Hefker. Hefker is only when someone takes it. Why do we say that it's Hefker? So we say like this: the Leila Shtakach Teres Hefker. We want the concept of Hefker to exist, and that if we don't make it actually Hefker, then people are going to think that there's no such thing as Hefker. Now, 1 second. If that's the case, so why do you give 3 days? Then it should be Hefker immediately from the first day. Do we have a concern about the Ramayim? Ramayim are the trickers, that they make something Hefker and then they take it right back and they just want to avoid the Maisa. The rule is that once it's Hefker, it's exempt from Maisa. The Gemara asks, according to this, it's really not Hefker, even after 3 days. It's really not Hefker. The rabbis just make it look like Hefker because they want Hefker to exist. The Dilma, if it's really not Hefker, then the rabbis are just making it Hefker.
In this example, he would be responsible for the miser until someone else takes possession, even if he makes a hefker.
We have a problem here. What the Gemara is asking is,
It's back to the question I was asking yesterday about Shores, the sabbatical.
Or the difference that I have right now.
That's
Amongst
considered
maybe
Hefker also.
on the sabbatical, we said that that is a real Hefker. But over here, according to Rabbi Yossi, it's only considered Hefker once someone else takes it. When it's in that Hefker state, it's still in his possession. So what happens now is that no one takes it. 3 days later, he takes it back, and the rabbis say that that's considered Hefker and exempt him from Meiser after 3 days. But no one took it. So we say, what we're going to say is that the truth is that how does he get exempt from Meiser if no one took it?
From what we learned earlier, the 3-day rule was created to not enable people from doing it.
Right.
So then he would have to pay. Nobody took.
Yeah, but what happens after 3 days? No, after 3 days, it's not. After 3 days, it should be putter from Meiser, at least,
Yeah, that's what I.
right?
Only after 3 days.
It says,
That's right, that's the
question
problem.
relates to the other aspect of the halacha, the fact that after 3 days have passed, even if he retracts his declaration, the produce remains ownerless, although the Torah law does not ownerless. Torah law
Does not consider-
ownerless
right.
until it enters the possession.
The rabbi said that it's ownerless. Now, the issue, why did the rabbis want Hefker to exist? So,
Oh, yeah, it's a good question.
because if Hefker doesn't exist, if there is a real case of Hefker, let's say someone was mafker something and another person came and took it, that's a real case of Hefker. So the person that took it is exempt from Misa because he acquired it from Hefker. That's a regular case of Hefker. So if we're going to say that maybe it's not really Hefker, maybe there's no such thing as Hefker and all of this, and we're going to say that's considered a gift when the other person took it from Hefker, then the person's going to think that he's chayev in Meiser, and he's going to end up taking Meiser off that on things that he was actually chayev in Meiser. He'll be taking from exempt food on obligated food, and that doesn't work. You can't take Meiser from exempt food on obligated food. So we want to tell people that there is a concept of Hefker.
If you, how could you not say that based in themselves?
Okay, no, one second. The Ran comes in and says we could answer everything here, which is saying Hefker, Best, and Hefker. We could resolve all of this, the Hefker, Best, and Hefker. But the Besdin doesn't want to step in and say Hefker, Best, and Hefker in order to make leniencies on Meiser. So that's not what we're doing. So what we have to figure out is how it could be actually Hefker when, according to Rabbi Yossi, it's not really Hefker. After 3 days, he takes it back and he's exempt from Meiser. The problem is, Dil Masi Lasure min Achiyav ala Pater. He acquires it back.
Requires it. Why isn't he now?
He
chayav
thinks-
in the new master, which is.
No, he acquires it from Hefker after 3 days. He thinks that he just acquired it from Hefker, and the rabbis instituted that when he takes it from Hefker, he has to give Meiser Midrabanan. That's what we're going to have to say, because it's a rabbinic institution that it's why does he have to take Midrabanan?
At this point, when he acquires it, he didn't grow it. It's not his true. It's a freebie that he now got.
So what he's going to do is like this. He's going to take Meiser from this produce that he just took, which is actually obligated min Torah, because according to Rabbi Yossi, it's not really Hefker, but the rabbis consider it Hefker. So he's going to think that he's not going to remember that it's actually Chayev Midairaisa. He's not going to realize that it's really his. He's going to think that it came through Hefker. And he's going to take the rabbinic Meiser on it. Taking rabbinic Meiser is maybe he's growing something in a flower pot that's also Chayev Midrabanan on Meiser, because it grew in a flower pot. But that's also rabbinic. So he's going to think, oh, this is rabbinic, this is rabbinic. He can take from one on the other. But it turns out that all this did was create a confusion, because really it was his the whole time, according to Rabbi Yossi, because no one ever took it. It wasn't really Hefker. The rabbis just wanted to institute that there should be the concept of Hefker, so that he should be exempt midairaisa. But it turns out that other people should know that when they take something from Hefker, they're exempt. So if that's the case, you were creating a problem here. So to answer this problem, the Gemara says, the Amri like Kima Asris Aser Minei. Take Meiser not on anything else. When you make something Hefker and then you take it back, you have to take Meiser from it itself.
Otherwise, otherwise you can substitute from something else. Right?
Otherwise, you're going to change the grade of requirement of obligation, and it doesn't work. Meiser can only be from the same level of obligation.
Did we learn when it comes to taking Meiser, take specifically from this pile, you can take from the other
You
pile?
can take from other pile. Yeah.
So this is sort of
But there was a rabbinic issue of doing that. But it doesn't, but that it should be in front of the person. Okay. So that resolves all the questions because you can't take it on anything else. I'm missing one point here, that if the rabbis are saying that it's hefker, even though it's not hefker, so he's really chayiv in Meiser Midiraisa. Why is he taking Meiser? What are the rabbis doing? They're taking off the Meiser. Okay. I don't know. Gemara has another question. Meisvei. Mafkir karma, someone that makes his vineyard hefker. L'shachar amadu batzrei. And in the morning he wakes up and he starts to pick the grapes.
Wow.
Now we know what he was trying to do. He was trying to make his field exempt from Meiser. So he does it at night. I guess no one's around. He makes this announcement. And right away in the morning, he runs outside and he takes. So he's still chayiv. The peret, oilolais, shikha, and peya. Peret are the single grapes that fall. Oilolais are the deformed clusters. Shikha is things that he forgets in the field, and peya is the corner that he has to leave for the poor. But hupater min ha'maiser, but he's exempt from maiser. Now the reason why he's chayiv in he's chayiv in the other ones and not in this one is because it says in the pasuk tazav, you should leave it, and it says in an extra time. So we don't let him get away with it by just making it hefker while it's still in his property. If he wanted to make it hefker, he has to take it out of his property. So to keep it in his property and make it hefker, that's not considered hefker for all of those. But for meiser, where it doesn't say the extra time tazav, we say that it is considered hefker. Now bishleim mala'ula, we can understand ula because ula said that everything here is the Rabbanan, that he doesn't have to actually give it to anyone else for it to be hefker. It's automatically hefker. So the Rabbanan Ketanila, the Raisa Ketanila. Everything here is midday Raisa. The Rabbanan Ketanila, the Raisa Ketanila. What this would mean is that he's pater mina meiser midday Raisa, because it actually is a hefker. What about the first 3 days? First 3 days, the rabbis say that you have to take. So what do we say over here, pater? That's midaraisa is pater. But the other brisa that said the first 3 days is not considered hefker, that's the rabbinic law, that the rabbis don't want it to be hefker, but really midaraisa it is. So we have everything resolved. One statement that says pater was referring to midaraisa. Statement that says chayiv, which was the brisa before, that would be rabbinic. Ella l'reish lakish. Amai patim and amaisa, but according to Rish Lakish, that he said that everything was in the previous brisa was Rabbi Yossi. It says that it's not really hefker, even midaraisa, it's not hefker, right? So what does it mean? He's patim and amaisa. It's not hefker. You can always take it back. So Amalach, Rish Lakish would say to you, ki amri anal Rabbi Yossi. I was talking about the other brisa, but this is the Rabbanan. This is the Rabbanan, and the Rabbanan they hold that it is hefker, so that's why they say it's pater. Let's finish this. I'll give you another teretz. Hadafker bapi train, hadafker bapi tlas. It meant how many people were there when he said that it's hefker. 2 people or 3 people. Look at this, it's Rabbi Yochanan himself. Rabbi Yochanan says in the name of Shimon Yitzadek that anyone that makes it hefker in front of 3 people, that's hefker. B'fnei shnayim, but in front of 2 people, lo yavi hefker. Rabbi Shubin Levi says, Dvar Torah filu be'echad avi hefker. Really, even if there's just 1 person there listening to it, it's hefker. Matamam shleisha. Why did we say that you should have 3 people? So that 1 person should take it, and then you have 2 other people that are witnesses. And this will explain what we're dealing with over here, that he's patim in a meiser, that's because there's 3 people. What did we say before, that he's still chayiv in meiser because 3 days didn't pass? That would be talking about when there's 2 people. That's way of resolving this. Okay. Okay. Have a good day, everyone.
So
Tomorrow I'll be here.
Oh, you're gonna.
I'll be here. Yeah.
All right, so I could.
Zoom in.
YouTube it later.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Cool.